Welcome back, subscribers. Something real quick here. I just got off the phone with somebody who it's a vendor, and I've got a couple of prices out on a property just to get some fencing. And my background as a general contractor, I was always dealing with a number of different subcontract companies. So I never really realized the value of being in the business. So what we're going to talk about is the value of being inside of a market, okay, and understanding the market. And there was something that was said to me by a friend of mine, Martin, who is he's retired now, but he was a from Hamburg, Germany. He's a finance banker and lived in Miami, Florida. He migrated in the 80s, like basically right after the whole cocaine war thing happened. Um, and funny dude, like super, super German. um, and at any rate, he said to me one day, we got to know each other through our girls played travel junior golf together, like basically pre-professional or pre-collegiate, I guess, if you will. But it was very uh, it's no different than these travel leagues. Only in golf, we had a little bit more versatility and where we went. We could pick tournaments and things like that, and we're staying at resorts and it's nice. It was a good experience. A lot of stress, good experience. But at any rate, so I met a lot of people that had influence, money, job, businesses, lots of experience, lots of people that have in that genre inside of golf. You have people that are highly tuned. They understand that the game is very precise when you get on tournament level. It's different than somebody going out and playing their muni golf course, and duffing it around. But somebody that's actually playing by the rules, it's a completely different game, totally different. And it's no joke. So the people that it attracts are other people they have their shit together. You don't have Happy Gilmores out there. Trust me, it's a no-go. Doesn't happen. Um, but it's fun. It makes for fun movie for sure. But anyway, so I meet these guys and met Martin. Martin's a finance guy, and we were sitting on my back deck, and girls were in town for a local tournament and big one, and they were staying with us. And I just asked him. I say, he was about 10 or so years older than I was, a little about 10 years older. And I asked him. I said, since you're in the banking finance world, could you make some suggestions? Like what would you suggest if you were going to play like another 10 years of your life over again? And he said, just one thing. He said, go with what you know. Go with what you know. He said, if you know the market, no one is going to know better than you. Just by being inside of that space, you're going to pick up things that other people don't know of, and you're going to be conditioned, to the experience. And that's what I try to tell people. I said, you don't have to jump in head first, but if you get involved with a business, you'll learn the language of the business. You'll learn the reasons why things work the way they work, why people act the way they act, why customer service is the way that it is, why whatever, materials, warranties, things like that. Just regular everyday stuff that a lot of the normie crowd has absolutely no clue. And the business world is always like fighting against it to say like, hey, we're running a business here. What are you trying to put on me? Don't push your problems on me. So anyway, the business that I got into that I knew really, really well was the housing industry. I knew it from the remodeling perspective. I knew it from the new housing construction perspective, just general construction, but from a general contracting perspective. So I have the ability, like talent wise, to build anywhere with my own bare hands, cabinets, furniture, like really high level shit. Framing, you name it, anything that has to do with wood. I would what you be considered a master craftsman. And I could prove it. I could show you my portfolio. I could tell you the places that I've worked. I could tell you the people that I've worked for. Like I can back it, right? And but then also on the contracting side, managing projects that are $500,000 remodeling projects, near $1 million property, houses, from subcontracting to running the whole project. So all kinds of different stuff, commercial and residential. So So I've seen the whole thing. And so I know it ultra thoroughly. Like, again, if I was given the materials, I could do a house from scratch, excluding heating and air conditioning, because I'm not allowed to buy the equipment. And I don't have the diagnostic uh, uh, tools and things like that to be able to do it. But as far as everything else, plumbing, electrical, 100% of everything, yes, absolutely, I could do it. Uh, so thoroughly saturated. So when I talk about, like, say, real world assets and knowing markets and things like that, yeah, I'd be expert class for sure. And I never really thought of myself in that perspective. And now that I went through contracting for quite a while, and then I started a subcontract business to get away from my partner 20 years ago, and um, just got tired of dealing directly with people. I'm like, I'm just going to have a subcontract business. It's clean, da 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 da. And then I got experience with national home builders, contracts, big contracts. So anyway, it's evolved over time. But anyway, I got out of the contracting. I get out of making phone calls, and I've got 3 painters, and I've got 2 electricians, and plumbers, and so on and so on. I can just make phone calls and get shit done just like that, because I paid my guys. I was good to everybody, all the companies that I worked with. So they'd pick up the phone. And I guess I've always been used to that. I wouldn't say I've taken it for granted. I just follow through what I say. So when you're dealing with somebody that's going to be paying you in this world, in the field of construction and general construction and remodeling, new houses, whatever, it is so fly by night. There is no guarantees for anything. You're like, it's a freelance. Every day you're going out and you're plowing the fields every single day. It's very difficult, depending upon what you're doing. So, high stress, but you can mitigate this stress by having trust. Very, very important. If you have trust in your business partners, very, very, very important. So, at any rate, I'm doing this project on the house, and it's my personal property, but we're in the process of having one of our companies basically take it over as management. And because there's some tax incentives and things like that of why we're doing this. And I want to put a fence around it. Some property behind me has kind of got me pushed on this, is that the property that's behind me, it's about an acre lot. House is about 4,000 square feet. Properties in the back that are coming in used to be farmers' fields. And there was about 60, 80 acres, something like that. Went for $26 million. Sold about 5 or 6. It was like, I think just pre-COVID, it sold. So maybe 6 years ago. Knew the family that sold it. Was in the family since it was deeded to them through King George. That's how far back it went. Interesting story there. But at any rate, the property in the back is being developed. Properties that are going in the back are houses that are $750,000, $800,000 houses. And I have to be responsible for the property. It's not like I just know somebody that owns the farmer's field in the back, and I basically have this huge, 30-acre view that I don't pay taxes on. So that lasted for 25 years. So that was good while it lasted. We had a really nice view of a big, really large pond and a lot of trees. There's some woodlands and things behind it. So it was very picturesque. And now that's all blasted out. It's going to be, progress is going to kill all that and, put in some housing. So we want to go ahead and basically close in the backyard, and fencing is part of it, and, trees and landscaping. So we've got a project that we're putting together. And anyway, getting the landscaping plan together, I've got a couple of fencing companies that came out and got me estimates. I did it last week. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the fencing right now and pull the trigger on this, because we've got plenty of capital that we made in the company this year. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing done. And here's where this comes into play about having experience and being inside of a market. Call the first fence company, and I set it up and said, this is going to be through my company. All right. Says through company XYZ. This is the address. Da, 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 da. I get a phone call from, I don't know these guys. Just called them, just went, right on Google. Whoever had some 5-star reviews, didn't get any recommendations from friends. Just went on Google and just did it. The new and improved version wise of using Google, leaning on it. And yeah. So I was like, all right, well, shit, I'm just gonna do this like guys contracted, like doing like commercial contracts. I'm gonna get like 3 estimates and see where the guys come in at and compare the estimates and just go with that. Hell with it. Just gonna paper contract it. I'm not gonna love these guys. You know what I mean? Just let them go at it. And who's ever hungry, will get it. So anyway, I set it up in the company. I didn't set up it's in my name like Harry Homeowner. So the first guy calls me up and says, "Hey, he noticed it's a company. Da, da, da. What are you doing with the property?" Asking me some questions and things like that. And we just got to talking. He gives me a price on it. And I'm thinking like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. But again, like my mind's thinking 20 years ago pricing, like some old man. So I I don't know what the market value is. That's again why you would get multiples of pricing. So unless you've done this a lot, you don't have any clue what it's going to cost. So it's like, all right, well, this is another reason why I'm going to get 3 estimates. I'm just not going to take, somebody coming down the pipe and just going to, charge me whatever, because they don't even know what the market price is. And this is something that you have to understand. And this is in all business, that just because you get a name from somebody, or a buddy says you need to use this guy, whatever else, that person that you're going to have to come to your home, work on your car, whatever, any type of business and transaction that you have, you're assuming that they're at the peak of knowledge inside of that market, right? You'd say like, well, they know what the market price is. One guy charges 10,000, the other guy charges 5,000, and the work is the same. You're like, what's the difference? The $5,000 guy doesn't know the market. He's ignorant. Maybe he comes from a poverty-stricken area, and to him, $5,000 is a lot of money. The guy that's lived here for 20 years is like, I know the market. Market's 10 grand. See? So how do you know that unless you get out and you get a bunch of estimates, right? And again, in the construction field, it's really dicey. You don't really know what you're going to get. You're going to get Paco's Tacos, or, some van that somebody took a Sharpie and wrote on the side of it, fencing or concrete finishing, or they're the guy that's got a business card that says everything they do: porches, decks, fencing, painting, etc. Oh, we'll even do electrical and plumbing. You're like, holy shit, man! Wow, you got it all. Which is a jack of all trades. And so anyway, you have to be aware of this. But this is in every single business of every single market. And it's no different it's in the pharmaceutical industry. This is in you going to the doctor. You go to get 10 doctors and you get 10 different opinions, right? And they're all charging different amounts. And it's your life. It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. So doing your own due diligence, knowing your market. Do you know yourself? Do you know your body well enough to go to the doctor and say, well, yeah, I know myself. Like, well, ask you a series of questions, and you sure as hell shouldn't say, I don't know, because it's you. They know nothing. You're the data input, right? So you have to think of it like that. Like everything that you do, again, is this transactional. So back to my fencing story. Get the first quote. The guy's really straight. He knew there's like a certain like language that property management people, real estate agents, builders, people that are in the housing industry, you can tell that somebody knows their shit, right? I don't care if it's a heating and air conditioning guy to a plumber, that they're going to have cross-pollination, you know what I mean, between these trades, and everybody's going to kind of get along. And if you're a business owner, somebody right out of the box knows that you understand the language of business. That's what they assume right out of the box, all right? You're not messing around. You're not Harry Homeowner. You're not here tire kicking. You need to get a job done. And that means to the sales guy that you're not going to be a pain in the ass, right? You're just going to be like, yeah, I've done this before, right? I'm not going to be up your ass. Just bid the ink and get done with it. So anyway, that's the way I addressed it with this guy. He gives me a price. It was like 10 grand. And I was waiting for the other estimate. I talked to the guy. Just got off the phone with him just a little bit ago. And same thing he says to me. Now, this guy was more of a hustler sales guy. All right. Reading through like, we do XYZ, The first guy was a little bit more loose, but still got me to the finish line, what I wanted. But going through their like standard company procedure protocol we use this much concrete in the hole. I mean, he's laying the whole thing out for me. I was like, yeah, I understand. This is what our warranty is. Other companies don't do warranties. Da, 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 da. I'm thinking like, I don't give a shit about your warranty, dude. I know how the warranty game works. Like right out of the bottom, like, and I stopped him like, hey, I say, this is for company. I said, you don't have to do all that. Oh, I know, but it's just, I have to do it because it's standard. It's procedure, you know? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know the drill. So comes to pricing, and he's like, well, just give me the linear footage of whatever the other guy did, and then you have an apples to apples comparison. Now remember, and he keeps going like back over his whole sales tactic of how they're better than any other company that's out there. And I was like, I told him, I say, I'm going to bid this just like a commercial job. I said, it's just like, here's the numbers. This is what we need, and I'm price oriented. He's like, I'm going to keep that in mind whenever I give you the price. Then he says, this is what the price of it is, like the retail price, like what Joe homeowner would pay, $13,500. As soon as he says that, I'm like, all right, dude, you're out. I let him keep talking though, right? And this is where you'll see the difference between if you're in a market or you're not in a market. And I'm like, I'm going to let him play it out just to see where he goes with this. He's like, well, because you're a business, that drops it down to this, which is like, I don't know, took $1,000 off of it or something like that, just because I'm a business. And then if you pay us within, then it's the payment thing. If you pay us within 2 weeks of completion, it's this much. If you pay us before completion, it's this much. And he's got like all these discounts that he's giving me. I'm like, man, shit. I'm like, he ended up getting it down to like about 11.5. So he was still about 1,000 plus over the other estimate that I had. But I just let him go through it because I wanted to kind of see like how much, fat do they put on the bone? You know what I mean? How much meat is on this thing for him to kind of work the price down, $2,500. I didn't even do anything. And what did I do? I just told him it's going to be underneath my company name. I live in the house. It's my house, but I'm paying for it through my company. Where's the advantage? Be like, that's a huge advantage. But the first guy, like, he doesn't give me retail price. He gives me the price that a company is. He's not going to piss around with all that salesman horse shit. He just cut to the chase. And I respect that. So that's the guy I'm going with. It just so happens he's the cheaper price. All right. But I feel like the first guy who gave me the straight cheaper price and not, horsing, jacking me around and being Mr. Salesman, I just prefer that. That's the way I do business. Cut the shit, get to what I need, and let's be done with this because I've got other things to do. You're busy. I'm busy. I trust that. Somebody else is doing all this word salad bullshit and selling it and be like, why do you keep talking? I just told you what this is. Just give me your best price and let's just roll on with it. This is as good as we can do. Done. Got it. That's it. And when people don't do that, and I say that right out of the box, you're not getting my business. As simple as that. Because you're setting a precedent and telling me this is the way you're going to do business in the future. All right. And that's just the way that I've always done things. Because it's like, if you don't trust me on the front end and you just went past, I've asked you to do XYZ and you didn't follow through with that, then what are you going to do in the future? Right. So at any rate, back to, contracting and choosing who's going to do the work. It's more about, I get put into a completely different bracket because it's under the umbrella of a company. I'm inside the market and I absolutely know the market. Now I know what the going rate is, within a few $1,000s. And again, we're not doing like finished carpentry or high-end painting project or cabinets, something that really, really matters. We're talking about fencing. It's not that big a deal. So the estimates, I can roll this stuff out. It's not that big a deal. I can get a concrete company that does garbage concrete work. That isn't worth a damn. That is you spend the money and get concrete done. I know of all the things that we made, all mistakes over the years of where to spend the money. So goes back to anything that like if you have an experience and you're an expert in a field, get more saturated in the field. You might not like the field, but there might be something inside of it business-wise that that you could pick up the phone. You could be a receptionist at whatever, a doctor's office, a lawyer's office or whatever, and you're going to learn the language of the business. All right. So you would be able to intelligently speak to somebody else and identify yourself as a business. And then you're treated differently. You're treated, it's like you're put on this pedestal. And, but there's really, the way I've always looked at myself is like, I'm no different than anybody else, you know? And especially in this perspective, I don't have any business in the market. You know, I could tell them like, hey, yeah, this is for my investment company and we have XYZ, which is true. But I'm not doing this as a commercial venture where I'm going to be using necessarily a fence company as repetitively as a contractor. And I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, but you know what? How often did I ever have to call a fence company when I was GCing? I'm like, not very often. So it's like, I still have, even to me, I have these, I don't know, like, it's a security issue, believing like, okay, I'm going to call XYZ and I haven't really called on these people in 10 years, 20 years. I'll give another example really quick. I've got this bathroom project on one of the properties, and it's a really high-end bathroom. And I need some cabinet doors made. And the cabinet doors, instead of using like a regular interior door, we're going to use cherry, like hardwood doors. But they're going to be like cabinet doors. And I get thinking about it, I was like, company that I used to use like 15, 20 years ago. It's called Decorative Specialties. That's out of Monroe, North Carolina. I'm like, I'll just call them. So what do? I've know my salespeople are gone. I've got binders of like, I've got, you know, my customer numbers defunct. You know, I just haven't used it forever. I make a phone call to them. It's like nothing ever stopped. Business just keeps on rolling. Right? I make a phone call, customer service, and I just explain myself. Hey, I'm so-and-so, we're looking for XYZ. Can you put me in contact with a salesperson? Boom. Get a salesperson. I say like, hey, this is my background and my experience. And that's what I tell them. I said, I'm looking at, can you guys handle this project? Yeah, we could do it. Absolutely. Right out of the box, I just kind of tell them like, this is what I'm doing. This is what my background is. This is where I use you guys. And I have this experience. And let's do business again. Simple. But he doesn't know me from Adam. So a lot of it is just, I'm not bullshitting the guy. It's real. But what's the difference between bullshitting somebody? As long as you follow through, I've told people this. I said, it's not a lie if you can follow through. If you know that you can do something, put the cart before the horse, grow a set, tell them you're going to follow through and do it, and just do it. But you can't fail, because that's it. When you tell somebody you're doing something, follow through and do it. So it makes no difference if you do have the experience, if you don't. If you want to get going on something and do something new, you got to take risk. You have to take a chance. And if it's on your head, on your shoulders, just, are you the type of person to follow through with what you say? That's it. So anyway, some interesting stuff. Know your market. If you're interested in a market, I got interested in housing because it is the largest single investment you're going to make as a human being in the normie world is going to be where you live. It's going to be your home. And it's a very safe and secure investment. And it's always been. And it just made sense to me like, well, if that's where all the money's at, and that's where everybody's money is going, then gosh, if I do something in the building industry, I mean, that should be great. I should be able to pick up on all kinds of other things. And I got interested in lots and lots of different things, lots of things. It keeps me busy. All right. I'm going to leave you with that, but just think of that. Just think, just get involved and just know your market. What are you investing your time into? Investment. And you already probably know. Maybe you had a parent that was into something, or you worked a job for 20 years. You're going to pick stuff up, and you know the language. So at any rate, I'm going to let you go. Cheers.